Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host, Tom Downey. Here with some Cowboys rumors and news. We'll start with the news and some good news to lead things off because there's some bad news too, unfortunately. But we start with the positive. Gil Brandt is the latest member of the NFL Hall of Fame. That was announced this weekend, named to the 2019 NFL Hall of Fame class. And incredibly important member, not just the Cowboys front office, but overall for the NFL scouting as a whole unit. From 1960 to 1988 was a critical part of that Cowboys front office, helped develop many of the things that the NFL still uses today. For example, the NFL scouting combine. Gil Brandt was a huge factor in that. In total, it brings the number of Cowboys Hall of Famers to 17. So Gil Brandt, well-deserved. Congratulations on being named to the NFL Hall of Fame. Now, on the sad side of things, former Cowboys quarterback coach Wade Wilson has died. He died on his 60th birthday on Friday. He was a longtime Cowboys quarterbacks coach from 2000 to 2002 and from 2007 to 2017. Played quarterback from the Cowboys as well from 1995 to 1997. Was replaced this past year by Kellen Moore in the Cowboys quarterback coach role. So, unfortunate to pass along that news about Wade Wilson, and of course thoughts and prayers out to his entire family and friends. And on to the current Cowboys coaching staff. They have their latest addition, Carlos Polk. This one kind of slides under the radar. He is the newest assistant special teams coach as he replaces Doug Coleman on staff. And Polk served in that same role from 2014 to 2018. And as so many Cowboys coaches do, he also played for the Cowboys back in 2008. So Polk comes on, hopefully able to help improve a rather lackluster Cowboys special teams unit from last year. If you guys have not already, go subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. We've got news, rumors, NFL draft coverage, free agency as well, and special fan-led content like our mailbags and our fan rumors. So if you want to be featured on the show, head over to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, just hit that subscribe button. It's right there for you. We'll have content pretty much every single day in this Cowboys offseason. On to the latest Cowboys rumors. And first up is Jason Garrett coaching for his job. Well, yeah, right? 4 stars. This one really isn't much of a surprise. I guess confirmed by Jerry Jones to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. So 4 stars on that one. Now, the Cowboys don't plan on extending Garrett right now. That part was kind of a rather changed because there was the initial report not that long ago about how Garrett was going to get an extension. That ended up not happening. Now, Garrett is now entering the last year of his contract. So Jones and the Cowboys are making Garrett prove it again. They want to see Jason Garrett do it again. And this is not the first time, by the way, that Jason Garrett has been forced to play or coach out the final year of his deal. He did that during that, you guys remember that Packers playoff run where Dez did catch it. It was the exact same thing there. Now here's the quote from Jerry Jones on Jason Garrett. "We have been there before without a contract. He trusts me. I do trust him, or he wouldn't be the head coach to begin with. Our business made too much of when you look at extensions and non-extensions, meaning you're looking too much into it." So, as Garrett enters the last year of his deal, will he be the Cowboys head coach in 2020, i.e. after this season wraps up, this coming season? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Let me know why or why not in the comments section. That's where we sit with Jason Garrett. Now, some other Cowboys rumors that we'll get to here. We'll stick with the coaching side of things, because this one's never going to go away. What about Sean Payton coming in 2020? That one coming to us from Pro Football Talk. I kind of waffle between 1 star and 2 star, but I do think there's some semblance of logical and sense to it. So I'll give it 2 stars here, but it's really almost 1.5, 2 stars there. The Pro Football Talk reports that there are rumors of a Payton Cowboys reunion in 2020. And I'll make note here, there's always going to be Cowboys and Sean Payton rumors. And the rumors stem from the fact, well, Jerry Jones hasn't extended Jason Garrett. Maybe that means they're going to go after Sean Payton in 2020. Now, I'll make note here, and this is why it was almost 1 star. This is not the first Pro Football Talk and Sean Payton Cowboys article. They did other ones before with, oh, maybe the Cowboys are going to go hire Sean Payton this year. Now that that's clearly not going to happen, they've just pushed it off a year. again, if Garrett gets fired, I think that it's a logical fit for Sean Payton for the Cowboys. Again, he coached with the Cowboys from 03 to 05. But remember, Sean Payton's under contract. That means a trade is probably going to need to be required to bring in Payton from New Orleans to the Dallas Cowboys. And look, I know a lot of you guys want Sean Payton. I get why. If Garrett gets fired, there's a no-brainer that Sean Payton would be at the very tippy top of the Cowboys target list. But I'm not going to give it anything more than 2 right now. It's very much, I think, a bit of a jump forward in logic there. And I will, again, continue to hammer the point home that PFT, this is not the first time they've done the Sean Payton to the Cowboys rumor. And frankly, if the Cowboys have some issues next year, this is a rumor that's not going to go away because it's going to get massive clicks and views. So who do you want as the next Dallas Cowboys head coach? Let me know in the comments section. Then DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. I'll throw some other names your guys' way as well. Now we're going to talk more coaching, but first, today's show was brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120 when you sign up and deposit. That gets you a 120% deposit bonus. But if you want more bonus money, use Bitcoin instead. That bonus becomes 150%. So you put down $100 and use Bitcoin, you get $30 more than if you use MasterCard. So DM us if you need any help on the Bitcoin side of things. We're on Twitter at ChatSports. We'll help walk you guys through it so you guys can get that extra money to bet with. So to that new coaching staff update here. Is Kellen Moore going to call the plays for the Cowboys? We'll keep this one at 3 stars for now. It's not set in stone, but it does seem rather likely at the moment. He is the front-runner favorite, whatever you want to call it, to call the plays in 2019. Now, the decision is still not official, and the Cowboys coaching staff and front office and everything, they're still kind of determining the roles. And make note that Kellen Moore did call the plays during the Pro Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's locked in 100% as the play caller. It's probably more in the range of 99, 95%, something like that. I will make note, though, the offense will look different next year, if only in terms of the way things are structured. It's going to be a more collaborative effort. It's not just Linehan calling the plays and making most of the decisions. Doug Nussmeier, Jason Garrett, John Kitna, Dak Prescott, they'll all have input. That was not the case under Scott Linehan. In the end, I don't have a great feel for how much creativity and freedom Kellen Moore will have within what I expect to be a still relatively similar Jason Garrett offense. But if he can add some wrinkles, some more pre-snap motion, get to the line hurrier, run a little bit more of a stereotyped college-style offense, I think that would benefit Dak and the Cowboys offense. So how confident are you in Kellen Moore as the Cowboys OC? Obviously, we don't really have anything to go on, so it depends, I guess, on how much blind trust you want to have in Kellen Moore. I'll accept any and all answers from 1 to 10, so long as you guys don't use the Pro Bowl, which doesn't make any sense for the reasoning behind your argument. More Cowboys rumors. Was there no tampering involved around Earl Thomas? Well, 4 stars on this one. The NFL did investigate the Cowboys about potential tampering regarding Earl Thomas, who was very vocal about wanting to be traded, was heavily connected to the Dallas Cowboys. And remember, there was, at least according to Earl Thomas, a coach that came up to Earl Thomas and asked if he was ready to be traded the next day, of course, before the Cowboys-Seahawks game. NFL investigated it, and they found no evidence of wrongdoing, so they're in the clear there. Of course, I still expect that you'll see the Dallas Cowboys make some type of run at Earl Thomas this offseason. Money's going to be a big issue there, but for now, no tampering involved. Of course, I suppose there could be more before we get to free agency, but we typically don't see that very much in the NFL, even though I think like all the NFL teams secretly do it behind closed doors. Some more free agency talk here, at least extension talk, I should say. Should the Cowboys pay Zeke like Todd Gurley? I'll give this one 2 stars. There's a lot of if, then it equals that, if that kind of makes sense. So Zeke does want a contract extension after the season, and of course he wants one before next season. Now, Todd Gurley's deal is 4 years, $57.5 million, with $45 million guaranteed. So my first, well, wait a minute. What does a Zeke-like Todd Gurley contract mean? Does it mean that 4 years under $60 million? If so, I think that's a pretty good deal. But the salary cap is only going to rise. Is it going to be more like a 4 year, $63 million deal to factor in inflation? If so, well, maybe you kind of back up a little bit. And the Cowboys do have Zeke locked up through the 2020 season. As we know, running backs have a very short shelf life in the NFL. And Jones, remember Jerry Jones, supported Elliott during his suspension. That's going to be, I think, used heavily in those contract talks. Now, Todd Gurley is the highest paid halfback in the NFL. But David Johnson didn't have his best year. Devonta Freeman banged up again. LaShawn McCoy, not all his fault, didn't have the best year. And Saquon Barkley, because this is how weird the NFL market is for running backs, he's the 5th highest paid guy, and he's only entering his 2nd year, which is crazy to think about. So how much would you pay Zeke per year? Let me know in the comments section. Then DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney to get my thoughts on it, and I'll make note here as well. Typically, I am of the don't pay a running back mentality. I'll make an exception for Zeke up to a certain price tag, and just keep that in mind. And from Zeke's perspective, that's why it's only 2 stars. I think he might want more than a Todd Gurley contract, given how short a shelf life halfbacks do have. Guys, I am wearing a Mizzen and Main shirt. You can get one too. Comfortable.af is the site. Go check them out. They make me look passable on air. They could probably do even more for you. Mizzen and Main, it's the best damn dress shirt. All right, one last Cowboys rumor item for you today. Is Amari Cooper the number 2 priority? I'll give this one 2 stars as well, because there is some sense behind it, but there's also some buts involved, much like Zeke Elliott. Now, obviously, DeMarcus Lawrence, he's priority number 1, and actually probably 2, 3, and 4 as well, but we'll just group him all together for 1 there. The Cowboys are looking to extend Amari Cooper, Byron Jones, Dak, Zeke, and others there, but they also have other holes on the roster to fill. Now, while Amari Cooper has proven he is the number 1 receiver the Cowboys desperately needed and managed to trade for, I do wonder how much he's going to want on the open market. Odell Beckham is the new highest paid receiver in the NFL at $18 million. The contract's only going to go up from there. Antonio Brown, he makes $7 million. Mike Evans, $16.5. Cooks and Hopkins, $16.2. So while I do want to get Amari Cooper extended, I actually don't know if it's the 2nd biggest priority. Now, if you want to group wide receiver as a whole together, that I think makes a little bit more sense, because Cole Beasley, Tavon Austin, they are both free agents. I look a little bit more in the immediate future, and I see holes on the defensive line. I see holes at receiver. So Amari Cooper himself is probably not the 2nd biggest priority, at least for me. If you group him as part of the overarching receiving core, then I think that's where it makes some sense. But let me know in the comments section, what do you guys think is the Cowboys' 2nd biggest priority for the 2019 offseason? Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.